What's going on, lads? It's your boy Cameron here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope you guys all having a fantastic day. So, trade deadline has been and gone. There's plenty of stuff to talk about and there's a lot to get into it. There's a lot of trades that I didn't expect happening this trade deadline. I thought that would happen during the summer. Why not? Let's go through it. Let's spend like 10 minutes and just go through it. I'm sorry that they are a bit late. I wanted to try and get a video up every time there was a big deal. I would have loved to given you like 3 videos, but I was asleep. At the moment, it is 8:30 in the morning, so I did wake up quite early to notifications, and I've had breakfast and stuff. So I've started off my day. I didn't go to the gym this morning because, I want to get videos out. So let's go through these trades, shall we? So I went to bed, and I was like, okay, maybe Gallinari will be on the Heat. That's probably I thought be the biggest trade. That would be the biggest trade of the day of the trade deadline. I thought it was going to be, so I was like to bed. I was like, all right, I could go to sleep and just, make a video on Gallinari getting traded tomorrow. But that actually didn't go through. The OKC asking price was too high for Gallinari for the Heat. So the Heat just kind of gave up, but they still grab up Iggy and Jay Crowder, who two good defensive rotational pieces for the Heat. And then, well, in between there, Leon Rose got the New York Knicks president of basketball operations for the Knicks. So that happened. That was over at the trade deadline too. And yeah, that's really about all. So yeah, this is just a tweet from Woj saying about the Iggy trade because because then Miami get rid of the contract of James Johnson. And they also get rid of Dion Waiters, who's having a bit of a troubled season this year. But they get Iggy, Solomon Hill, and Jay Crowder. Iguodala and Jay Crowder are the 2 pieces that they probably wanted the most out of this trade, because like I stated before, they would be rotational pieces who can play defense and shoot the ball for them. Good to play in that Miami, and good veteran presence who have some good, not so much champion, well, Iggy has championship experience. Jay Crowder, not as much, but still has been on the winning teams before. Let's keep going. So then the Clippers trade Derek Walton Jr., kind of just like an trade just to get someone off the books. And then this came up. I was just scrolling through Twitter this morning because I was like, oh yeah, what did I miss? This tweet came up. Probably one of the biggest deals of this NBA trade deadline. Is Golden State agreed to trade D'Lo to Minnesota for a deal that includes Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 protected first-round pick, which is top 3 protected, and a 2022 second-round pick. So, and the Warriors will send Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman to the Timberwolves too. But the thing is, D'Angelo Russel is getting traded to the Timberwolves. That's what they've been trying to do since the offseason, since D'Lo was a free agent this offseason, and they freaking got him finally. They got rid of the contract and Andrew Wiggins, who hopefully, I'll go into that in a second. But good to see Minnesota has got their guy in D'Angelo Russel and to keep Karl-Anthony Towns happy. So now I think that team should be alright. This season's still probably going to be a write-off, not really much happening. But Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russel should be a good 1-2 duo on offense anyway. Defensively, it could be a bit sketchy, but at the moment, offensively, it should be all good, but they are going to have that pick. And also, I think the Golden State Warriors probably wanted to get their 2020 first-round pick, the Timberwolves 2020 first-round pick, just because it's more guaranteed to be bad. So that's why I'm guessing that the trades took so long, because the Warriors kept wanting that 2020 first-round pick, but the Timberwolves managed to give up the 2021 first. I think this is a win for the Wolves. They get their guy, and they don't give up their pick this year, which is probably going to be in the top 5. Golden State side, they get a couple of picks, and they get but they get rid of like Amari Spellman, who was a good rotational piece for them, good rotational power forward for them. I quite like that. I mean, it's not crazy good. Andrew Wiggins is going to be a good player, I'm sure. Probably going to try and make Andrew Wiggins a Harrison Barnes type player, so that he can, go and be that forward guy that can get a bucket when they need it, or be a second option when Steph and Draymond are off the court, or Clay and Draymond, or someone like that. Be a good forward that can get a bucket and play a bit of defense. That's what the Warriors are probably going to want him to do. He's going to be on a very large contract to do that, but at the same time, hopefully Wiggins can change his game a little bit and thrive in Golden State, because at the end of the day, he's 24. He's a 24-year-old who still has potential to be a very good player in this league, and I think the Warriors will be a good franchise to help Wiggins progress in his game and help him develop those skills needed to become a very good NBA player. So that was probably biggest trade of the day. There will be a Timberwolves. Wait, actually no. There's going to be a Warriors. Andrew Wiggins realistic rebuild coming out tomorrow. There's still going to be a rebuild, so check out that. I am going to eventually get to every single trade and do a rebuild on every single trade, but rebuilds take a bit longer to record, so they will be coming out just once a day. If I get time, there might be two in a day, but I'm going to try and get one a day out at least for you guys. So next trade. So that's still the same one. Houston traded Jordan Bell for Bruno Caboclo. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but we get rid of Jordan Bell, so the Rockets are going full on small ball. So Jordan Bell was their last kind of probably traditional center. So now they're going to be going small ball, and it's going to be a bit of an experiment, which I've had a day to process it and stuff, and it's still kind of fresh and new and scary, but at the same time, at least they're trying something. They have failed in the playoffs a couple of times already, so it's nice to see something new and maybe something can go down. Portland is trading Scalabicier and cash to Atlanta. That doesn't say anything what Atlanta's giving up. But another trade is Cleveland Cavaliers are trading for Andre Drummond. So the trade package here, it doesn't say there, but the trade package here is a Brandon Knight and John Henson, and I think maybe a couple of seconds. That's all that Cleveland had to give up to pick up a borderline all-star in Andre Drummond, whose value was declining, and I think Detroit noticed that, and so they tried to get as much as they can. The only other teams that I think were reported in wanting Andre Drummond was the Charlotte Hornets. So I think Cleveland is probably an alright place. I'm thinking now Andre Drummond knows that his value has declined, and he is going to opt into his contract this year so he gets paid, because I don't think if he goes into free agency, anyone's going to pay him that amount of money. The amount of money that he wants. So I'm guessing that he will probably opt into his contract, and Cleveland will have him for 2 years. Sure, he'll be taking up some cap, but at the moment, it doesn't really matter too much, because he's only 26. So I think he's probably going to be an alright center to pair alongside their young guards of Garland and Sexton, because those two are progressing nicely at the moment. Their playmaking and their shooting is getting better. I think he's kind of just out of the timeline, but at the same time, it's like, what else are you going to do? Andre Drummond is a decent decent center, and the Cavaliers are just going to be in mediocrity for a little bit. But I'm guessing that's going to be alright. Once everything kind of, gets better for Cleveland, then maybe we'll see them start making playoff pushes again. But for now, Andre Drummond, I think, is noticing how much his value has declined, and he's happy that he's being traded away from Detroit. Timberwolves, that's a Gorgie Dang for James Johnson deal, yep. Second round pick, yep, okay. Future second round pick to the Pistons, lesson of Golden State, yep. Knight and Henson too, yep. Washington Wizards have traded Jordan McRae to Denver for Shabazz Napier. So Jordan McRae for Shabazz. I think Shabazz is probably a bit better than Jordan McRae, in my opinion. I think it shouldn't have been a straight swap. I think it probably should have been maybe chuck in a couple of seconds, and then it might have made sense, but at the same time, it's just one of those trades. Philadelphia has traded James Ennis to the Magic for a second round pick, freeing up a roster spot. James Ennis, I thought, was a good rotational player for him. I think I liked James Ennis on the Sixers, but it's okay. It's again one of those trades that happened at the trade deadline. Okay, so another trade, as you guys can see, I've already seen it and I've liked it. Another trade that has happened while I was asleep was the Clippers, Knicks, and Wizards have agreed to a 3-team trade that will land Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas with the Clippers, which is going to be handy. I'll go into that in a sec. And Jerome Robinson will join the Wizards, Mo Harkless, and a 2020 first-round pick to the Knicks. The Clippers, they get their guy in Marcus Morris and Isaiah Thomas. So I think Marcus Morris isn't bad. He's going to be a nice 4 or 3, depending on who they're going to play at the 3, either Kawhi or Marcus Morris. They have a good lineup now at the moment. They have a they start Patrick Beverley, I'm guessing. Patrick Beverley, Paul George, either Kawhi or Marcus Morris, those two forward positions, and Zubac. I think personally they needed another center, a guy that could pull down boards and play the center position for them. I just think so, because Montrezl, it just gives them a bit of size, because Montrezl Harrell isn't exactly a huge player. He's quick, he's mobile, and he's strong, so that's why he can get away with playing the 5 position, especially coming off the bench with Lou Will. They're a good 1-2 punch. This just makes the Clippers a bit better. They get rid of the big contract in Mo Harkless, and Marcus Morris, I think, is a little bit of an upgrade on Mo Harkless. Jerome Robinson will join the Wizards. Young player, being traded to the Wizards. The Wizards probably could use him, and the Knicks get a bad contract and a first-round pick this year, which is probably going to be pretty bad, because I'm pretty sure that is the Clippers' first-round pick to the Knicks. So that's just what I think, but it's still a first-round pick nonetheless. But that is a big deal as well, so there'll be a rebuild about that, probably not tomorrow, but the next day. We'll see what goes on. Probably a Clippers, Marcus Morris, realistic rebuild. That's really all that's happened. Not a lot has happened and a lot of other teams. But that's all that really happened here. Alright, but yeah, that's really what's gone down in the NBA at the moment. A lot of trades happened. I'm sad that I was asleep for most of it. And it was a very big shock. It was a nice read to wake up to, but it was a big shock when I woke up. I was like, alright, see. Everything seemed to happen while I was asleep. So, that's what else can you do, though? That's time zone shit, and if I could have been awake and make videos, I would have probably done it for you guys. If I lived alone, I probably would have done it, but probably not. Well, yeah, that's really about it. My thoughts, I think this is a lot more of an eventful trade deadline than I thought. The biggest trade would probably be the Timberwolves D'Angelo Russell deal, because I thought D'Angelo Russell wasn't going to get traded until next offseason when he had a little bit more value. But yeah, I thought he would probably be traded that next offseason, not this season. It's over. It's done now. Nothing can really be changed now. But yeah, good on every team for making the changes. It's very courageous to make trades at the trade deadline. There's only half a season to get everything right. And sometimes the trades work, sometimes they don't. I'm looking forward to the second half of this NBA season, and I think it will be amazing to watch, especially the playoffs. The playoffs, I think, this year is going to be very, very competitive, and it should be a lot of fun to watch. Let me know what you guys all think down in the comments below. It is very nice to hear what you guys all think. Let me know what the winners and the losers of this NBA trade deadline. Personally, I think winners are probably Miami. Not so much. If they picked up Gallo, that would have been an absolute winner, but borderline winner is probably Miami. I think the Clippers, maybe. Yeah, Clippers are borderline as well. I think maybe the Clippers should have gone after Tristan Thompson, but it's over now. And probably another one that I'm thinking was a winner was probably the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves won this trade deadline just because they picked up their guy in D'Angelo Russell, and they had got rid of that contract and that player in Andrew Wiggins. I think that's nice. Wiggins, I think, won the trade deadline too, because now he's on the Warriors and he has a nice chance of developing into a nice player. And no offense to Timberwolves, but I have a feeling that they're not great at developing talent. But that's really about all. That's my opinion. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys all think down in the comments. I am happy to hear what you guys have to say. That's really about it. Hopefully you guys all have a good rest of the day. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you're new. I post 2K videos every single day. Well, I try to, as long as I have nothing going. If I do have something going, you guys I probably let you guys know. But yeah, that's really my initial thoughts of the trade deadline, what I think of what's going on, and all of that. Sorry I'm wearing a hat. It's because I need a haircut. It's a mess. It looks horrendous, but I need a haircut. But it is what it is. That's going to be it from me. Hopefully you guys all have a good rest of the day. I'll catch you guys in the next video.